Hello, and welcome to segment 2 of Teacher Productivity. I'm your host, Kendra Coleman, and today we're going to talk about Kami and Google Classroom. So you may ask yourself, what is Kami? Well, Kami is an annotation program that allows you to highlight, underline, circle, and leave comments on PDFs and teacher-created documents. Let's get straight into it. So there are a couple of things that you have to do to get Kami onto your device. The first thing is you do need to use Google Chrome because Kami is a Chrome app. Once you have gone to the web store and you've added Kami as an extension in Chrome, then you could simply type into your web browser kami.app and it would come up with a screen like this, in which you would sign in using your teacher credentials. Now, hopefully your district has paid to use Kami, and if not, it is $99 for the year. Okay, so what I love about Kami is that using the RAP model for using technology in the classroom, we know that it would be definitely replacing paper in the classroom or even a textbook. This story, thank you ma'am, came from my Pearson textbook, and it is something that I use to that we teach every year. Now, one of the ways that we teach students to annotate is to use something called signposts. Signposts comes from a book called Notice and Note, and we teach them how to annotate using those signposts, which require them to do more than just highlight, underline, or circle. However, Kami does allow you to highlight in any color you like. You can also underline. And the shape tool, which is here, yes, allows you to circle. So, your regular annotation tools. Now, if you're a math teacher, they can use the text box to write numbers. If there was an equation here, they could write the answer to the equation. There's also an equation tool that allows you to insert symbols, like I guess greater than and less than. Like I'm not sure for the math tools. However, but for reading, this is great. So that's the basis of Kami, is that you upload a document here. It could be a teacher created document. It could be a PDF that you have already that's created, and basically it's unmovable or unchangeable for the students to change anything, but they can definitely highlight, circle, and down here where I have questions, they can use the text tool to answer the question. So Mrs. Jones and Roger meet when Roger tries to steal Miss Bates' purse. Period. All right, and so they can use the text tool to answer. All right, so that's how you would use the Kami app to be kind of a replacement tool. But what about for augmentation? How does this augment what they do? How does it make it faster and better and easier? Well, one way that it makes it faster and better and easier is the fact that it works seamlessly with Google Classroom. So one way that this is an amplification for technology is in the classroom is that this works seamlessly with Google Classroom. However, before I get into that, let's talk a little bit about how this is transformative. So I showed you how to use some of the tools on the side, but the tool that I love the most is the comment tool. The comment tool allows students or teachers to use text comments, voice comments, video comments, or a screen capture comment. So for instance, if my students were annotating here, they would click and it would come over here to the side and it would have their name here. And they could say, "This surprised me because," and that's one of our signposts. So what I do to remind them of the signpost is I can also add other media into this assignment, such as a picture. So I'm going to go to my computer and I'm going to select a picture. And I have some pictures, of course, that I keep on hand for these assignments so that I can easily import them into our Kami assignments. So here are the 3 big questions that we use. And then I just stick them in here like this, and they can use that to help them annotate. We also use the signpost, which I won't put in here at this time. I can also add video to this assignment to help them in their annotations. So for instance, I can get a YouTube video that talks about what the signposts are, or that may even have a recording of the story in here, or I can record my own video using a video comment like this. And it probably won't let me record because I'm already recording, but that's fine. But the recording would show up here. I could go and pull a video from YouTube on "Thank You, Ma'am," and I can insert that video as well. So let's see what video we have here. Let's click on YouTube. Oh, that's in the beta settings. Okay, but you can still do it. So I'm going to get a video. And I'm going to grab that video from YouTube. And I'm going to insert it as a comment. I'm going to paste it. And when I hit enter, the video will show up. And there it is. There we go.
Thank You, Ma'am, by Langston Hughes. Narrated by Ryan. She was a large woman with a large purse that had everything.
So I can insert the video right on the assignment. To me, that is transformative. All right. Any type of media that you want to do, I can also leave messages on this work. Everything that I want to have on the assignment for my students before they do the assignment, I can put it all on here before I assign it. So, of course, that takes a little bit of teacher preparation to know what you want on these pages before you assign it to the students. And of course, I wouldn't want the answer to the first question on here, so I can go back and I could delete that. and I could have whatever I want on here for them, even if I've already started annotating for them so they could see what the annotations look like. Anything that I want could be on here. And then when I'm done, I can move this to Google Classroom. I'll show you in a moment. Okay, so here's how you create an assignment in Kami. So you go to the menu and you click Create Assignment. You can select, well, let's make sure all of our pieces are there first. So you saw the video, you saw where we've highlighted, and I think I'm going to go ahead and add some directions in for my students. I like to make the font as big as possible so the students can read it, and I put the directions in several different places so that the students will know exactly what to do. So we're going to say, please read and annotate this story. Remember, 2 annotations per page. And that's the minimum for my students. They get extra credit if they do extra annotations. And then I want to remind them to answer the questions at the end of the story. Now, I do like to make this bigger and to make it more readable. And there you have it. So now I will make this an assignment in Google Classroom. I can select one class, I can select more classes, I can select all of my students or just some of my students. But you create this just like you create any other assignment in Google Classroom, by putting the title of the assignment and by putting the directions in for the assignment, just like if you were in Google Classroom. So as you can see, I'm putting the directions in another place just to make sure that they can get the directions. Now, after I put the directions in, then I will decide how many points this assignment is worth. You'll see that it's already on make a copy for every student. So each student gets their own copy. You can make one copy for the whole class and then they would all be working on the same document. And I love that for collaborative activities because you could do it for just a group of students as well if you wanted that group of students to work on one document. I could also send the Kami instructions to my students if they didn't already have it on their computer. And I could also add things from Google Drive. And then I click Assign. When I click Assign, it goes directly to Google Classroom. As you can see here, here is the assignment. So we're going to edit this assignment. We can see everything that I put here in Kami now shows up here in Google Classroom. And I can add a rubric to it if I like, or any of the other the options that I have in Google Classroom. What I love about having Kami in Google Classroom is that not only can I assign work in Google Classroom, but I can also grade work in Kami. For instance, let's go down to an assignment that my students did. They did planning my story, and it was something that they worked on in Kami. So let's see here. We can open this assignment, and there will be a check mark. As you can see, this is in Kami. This is in Google Classroom. So here I am grading in Google Classroom, and I have the option to grade with Kami. If I turn off the Grade with Kami feature, then all of my Kami tools will disappear, and I will basically be in a read mode on the web. I could open it with Kami, but it's a little bit more cumbersome, and that sort of thing. But if I click the Grade with Kami button, all of my tools will show back up. And I can use the same tools that I used to create the assignment to then leave feedback for my students. I can highlight places where they needed to, put things. I can use the comment tools, which are super awesome. So here are some of the features of the comment tools. And do a text comment, just like they annotated. Say, please, complete this assignment. Please start this assignment. I can also use the voice to text feature. So now it's recording my voice. And it's pretty accurate. And you can use a voice comment where it actually just records what you're saying. And the last one is a video comment, which it would not let me do for this video. And this is why I think that Kami is a transformative application or technology for the classroom.